Hey guys, back again. This is
The Troublemakers for Justice,
your. Today we're here with Kimberly.
Maro, and our guest speaker.
Nelly.
Oh,
Where's my uncle?
welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, so this is gonna be our pop-up podcast episode, and it's in honor of Peace and Justice Week, which is from October 20th to October 25th. Yeah. So Maro, let us know what we're talking about today.
Since our theme for the Peace and Justice Week is free speech, what is that? Today we sent out some questions on campus on what's something you've been scared to say on campus, and we're just going to read the responses and kind of chit chat about it.
Okay, so like Mara said, the question was, what's something you've been scared to say on campus? And honestly, we didn't get a lot of responses, but the ones that we got hit hard.
Yeah, and I guess honestly, the fact that people didn't want to answer says a lot by itself.
Clock
Right?
that.
Like, it's literally a question about being scared to say things, and people were actually still scared to say it. So that says a lot.
Okay, so Kim, do you want to start us off?
Okay, so one of our first confessions or questions was, I feel like I can't disagree in class without people assuming I'm a bad person.
Mm, I think that's a real one. Like, I've definitely held back in most of my classes before, especially like the seminars and things where people have to say their ideas just to avoid being that person with the on the opposite side.
Mm,
Yeah, same. It's kind of weird because, like, we're told Elam is all about, open dialogue, but sometimes it really feels like there's only one acceptable opinion.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then, I feel like people just actually just stop learning from each other.
Yeah, I get that. So the next one says sometimes activism on campus feels more performative than real.
Ooh, that's a spicy one.
Yeah, but I kind of get it though. Like, sometimes I think we talked about this, like, even in the digital activism panel, which was like our opener for the week. Sometimes it feels like people post a bunch of stuff online and then just show up to one event and there's no follow through, like, at all.
Yeah, or sometimes it just feels like activism now becomes like an aesthetic, and it's hard to talk about that without sounding cynical. But it's a real frustration. Like yesterday, also during the dialogue circle, and it came up about like being privileged to be an activist, especially in the US,
Mm.
Yeah.
and like there are some things that everybody is like following the train or the bandwagon of posting online or saying, and like many people don't have the privilege of just doing that just because of the scrutiny of what you post on social media now, and like the and also if you don't post, then it's like you're not part of the people or you don't support whatever is going on. But then like people don't really think about the effects it's going to have on you if you do post and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, like, with the increased censorship and everything, sometimes people, it's like, oh, post, and do this, but you're not really thinking about the repercussions for you and for me. Like, two different places, two different
Yeah.
people.
Exactly. Yeah, that is a lot. Okay, here is another one. I feel like being religious makes people assume I'm conservative.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
I don't think I would have thought that, like, right away.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like it's different from back home and here. Like, if you say you're going to church every Sunday or like you practice a faith, then you're automatically like too religious for people. Like the way they see faith or religion here, it's like kind of more casual in some sense, instead of like, even if the faith doesn't always equal politics, like they kind of just label you as this person is too religious.
I don't know. Maybe it's like people equate, like, religion with being judgmental and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think there are still a lot of people on this campus who embody, like, their faith, but still, like, live freely, like, outside of judgment. At least I've seen that here.
Yeah, that's true. And like, I probably get the person because being at a super progressive school, it really can feel isolating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is one that got me, yeah. I'm scared that I don't actually belong here. Like, I'm not smart or woke enough.
The imposter syndrome is so real, especially when everyone around you seems super confident or politically fluent. Like when you're in classes and like people are spitting out facts or history things, and then you're like, why don't I know this? Or just like quotes or like historical figures, and you're like, maybe I'm not good enough to be here. And I wonder how like Kim you feel in your PAGS class. I don't know if you go through the same thing, but like I know in like my seminars and stuff when I'm like, how do people know all this stuff?
I mean, you move, you learn. Everything is a learning moment.
That's
You
true.
don't know, you just be like, who is that? Or you just look it up in class where people are talking, no one will know. You move.
Because I mean, it's also hard to owe it to like remember that it is like you have to learn, and we're learning things every day. But you get in class and everybody seems to already know, and you're the only one there. Like, I'm googling this. Everybody's knowing everything at the same time, so it's like, ish. Now I'm the only one left.
Yeah.
Not knowing, and it hits hard. Because vulnerability isn't always visible in those classroom discussions, so it gets difficult for sure.
Actually, exactly. Because, this school, we talk a lot about like community and everything. But like community means people should be able to like feel insecure in a safe space. And it takes a lot of courage for people to be honest about like whatever insecurities that they may have.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
Okay, so the next one we got was, I wish we talked about class and money more. Like people pretend everyone's middle class, but that's not true.
Ooh. That's so real.
Yeah. I mean, we are in a private school too, so...
No, but can we actually talk about how expensive this school is? I mean, we thank God that, through Davis and everything, we're able to be here. But, like, when you look at these fees on a proper scale, and then you're like, gosh, people are actually paying all this money.
Yeah, and I think we shy away from, like, the topic of class a lot, especially in classes. Like, I feel like the whole point, like, the whole idea of equality and equity on campus it kind of dies down the idea of like people being in different classes and stuff, but I don't know, I think it also does affect a lot of students on campus too.
True. Yeah, and people seem to talk more about privilege and oppression, and you have class, which kind of like slips through the cracks sometimes. And which I honestly understand, because if you're coming to a school and you assume that everybody has this certain kind of money, I don't think it's as easy to talk about. So like, where do you even how do you start to find people that can relate with you, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
True. Yeah, like, you're not supposed to say, I can't afford to do that because it sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, let's go out, and then you're like,
I don't know.
I have an assignment to finish.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
My
assignment.
Especially when like it doesn't sit in that you're in a private college until it sits in, like, and there's this quiet pressure to act like everyone is financially stable, but that's $725 we'll be getting per hour. No.
$725
with after tax. Literally.
And then after you're tax. Like, we can only work 10 hours. Like,
yeah. Lucky, but
Yeah, but I guess that's part of inclusion too.
/ exclusion.
But
being honest about money and access. This one is actually, I don't know. Is it like, I understand where this person is coming from. Like, we should talk about it more. But also, these are sort of like sensitive topics to just be open about, or maybe that is something we should work towards and not like, shift our minds to it instead of being sensitive into like actually being more open about speaking about people's financial situations.
I feel like people talk about it like in a joking way of like, I'm doing this, because I can't afford this school, or like I need to do this for that. But like, I guess talking about it or like dialogue would be getting all of those different like joking moments and seeing that a lot of students actually identify with this pressure or with this specific feeling, and then starting to put like meetings or structures or something in place to help or make things easier for students who are in that position, But
also, the next one we got was, I'm scared that we're becoming too careful. Like, people don't feel free to make mistakes anymore.
Yeah, that one hits.
Mm-hmm.
That one hits.
Yeah. Like the fear of saying something slightly wrong and then getting judged for it. Guys, we should allow people to be mediocre from here and there,
Yeah, like sometimes people genuinely want to learn, but they are too scared to even start the conversation just because of like the looks they would get or like the comments they would get for not knowing,
or like just like trying, for example.
Yeah, right. Growth kind of requires getting messy sometimes anyways, so if no one is allowed to mess up, then no one actually learns at the end of the day.
You learn from mistakes.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's also like the space where people start to like change each other's minds or switch ideas, because now like this place is so bipartisan. You're either left or you're right, and we don't meet in the middle at all. And it's like, I hate you guys hate me, end of story. But it's like, if we start talking and you hear the crazy things they say, then you actually listen like to like the need behind those crazy things that they say. You can start having conversations that will make maybe see eye to eye or not. I don't know.
Okay. Here's the next one. I feel pressured to have strong opinions about every issue, even when I'm still figuring out what I believe.
Yeah, I feel that one.
Yeah.
Like, I get it so much, because if you don't post about something right away, people assume you don't care. And I can relate to this one so much, like in our freshman year, when like the Gaza Israel thing came up, like started again, and I obviously didn't like really understand what was going on, and everybody was posting like free Palestine, and I'm like, just give me time to understand what's going on before I start posting on my social media and stuff. But a lot of people there sending me messages being like, can you repost this? Why are you not reposting this? And things like that. And I'm like, let's chill.
Yeah. It's like we forget, but, figuring out your stance really takes time.
Yeah.
Like, you can still care and still be processing, and people should be allowed to have that grace. Yeah,
I get that. I feel like college is a place where you explore your views, not necessarily just declare them.
Yeah, because that could be dangerous. Like, are you actually, standing with a certain agenda because it fits you and your beliefs, or following it? Then becomes a trend, and then like that advocacy becomes ingenuine.
I feel like that ties into like the last one very well. But there's also this one which says, I feel like I'm supposed to be constantly politically active, but sometimes I just want to live my life.
You know what? Yes, please. Can we? I get it. I honestly get that one.
Like, sometimes you're like doing something, maybe I don't know. Let's take like the boycotting things, for example. So like boycotting Starbucks versus like when Starbucks was supporting the war and everything. And people are at this point of like, why are you drinking at Starbucks? We're supposed to be boycotting. And boycotting has its place, and it's very important, like in like, what? Strangling. And people did boycott Starbucks, especially in like those bigger cities. But then you also sit down and you look at yourself and you're like, in this small town, on this college, you don't have a car. The only option for coffee is at that Starbucks. That Starbucks in our campus, I don't know how much its earnings will necessarily supply or contribute to that one. Although it is a political statement, but like you have to be real with like how your political activism is going to actually make change versus what you can do on school. Because like joining the boycotting Starbucks as opposed to, for example, holding your board of trustees or holding like the president accountable for things that they said. See, that one is more politically conscious and also more active in terms of like our setting and place and stuff, as opposed to the one. Not that you shouldn't, like if you want to boycott it and not go, don't, by all means. But if someone has woken up 10 a.m. and they have a long day and they need that, I don't know, double shot of espresso, whatever, where are they going to go?
Yeah, but like, let me just be the devil's advocate here. Like, don't you think being able to rest or like being able to live your life is just from a place of privilege to like your privilege to make that decision to be like, I don't want to be politically active every time, or like something I could be doing the most every time, like, you know.
Wait.
Yeah.
Could you first say it again?
Like, don't you think like having the decision, like being able to make that decision of you can choose when or when not to, like, it comes from a place of privilege?
Yeah, you can choose when the decision to choose when, like, how to be active or how to be politically active does come from a place of privilege, of course, because you're not necessarily like in there feeling like the pain and feeling like the outcomes of like the war and everything. That's true. Okay. But it's also like when you recognize that you have that privilege, there's also ways you can use it, for example, to impact the movement as well.
Devil's advocate's done.
Okay.
Burnout is real, Sha. You can care deeply about something, but you still need rest from time to time.
That's true, because again, also rest, I think, is part of the resistance.
Clock it.
You know, you get tired, you need to give yourself time to recharge so that you come back stronger than you were before. It continues. It's not just like, I think we're also missing that the person says constantly being politically active, but like we also deserve to rest, and because it, you know, sometimes it can affect you. Yeah, it does affect you if you're constantly in that state of
what's going on.
What's going on. You forget yourself. You forget that you
get wrapped up in it.
You forget there's other parts of your life that also need the same kind of attention. Exactly. So then, you know, you can lose yourself in the process. So I think that rest is definitely something that one needs. Yeah.
Are we continuing?
Yeah.
There's another one here.
A big one.
Yeah. Someone was angry there.
This person
angry.
Yeah.
Okay. If the board wasn't so busy squandering resources and time during the last 5 presidents before Paul arrived, we wouldn't be in this spot. Even though we have a new president, we have mostly the same board who was responsible for decision making before Paul, before Anne, etc., etc. I don't know if we should unpack that one.
I don't know, guys. I think we all came when Anne was leaving.
We did. We came after Anne had really received like everything from it.
But I don't know.
No, I think. You know what's funny, yeah? Before I came here, my mom sent me she sent me a blog post from some random place. I don't know where she dug it from. About Alham and about how the way the school is going right now. And mind you, this was in D2 last year of EWC. She was like right before I was about to commit to the school. And then she was like, oh, you know where the school is going in the next couple of years, blah, 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 1, 2, 3, XYZ. I wouldn't advise anyone to proceed or do something like that. But I don't know. I was just kind of set in stone. You know, Susan smiled at me and I was like,
Real.
girl, I'm coming. Doesn't
Mm.
matter what anyone says, you couldn't convince me otherwise. And then it's funny because, like, was she right? Was the blog post right? Because I was like, maybe
from
this
what
is
we're
just...
seeing now,
Yeah.
maybe.
I was like, that must be propaganda against the school, but was it?
I know also before I came, like, there was the whole big thing about Anne's inauguration and how much she spent from, like, the school and stuff. I don't really know the amount, but I know it was a large amount, and there was, like, a protest during the inauguration.
Yeah, there was.
And I don't know, guys, like, I know you see, like, how a lot of those things are kind of trickling and affecting us now, and also professors, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel this one, but I don't know how much I feel it, just because I don't really know the real details about what has been going on with the board.
Yeah.
I just see like the effects it has on students here.
And the faculty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last one before we wrap up. I don't think Earlham is as inclusive as it thinks it is.
Well, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's very brave, you know.
Because everyone wants to believe we're doing better than we actually are,
That's
right?
real. I mean, it's not really tearing the school down. I think that person is just being very honest. Like, you can love a place and still want it to grow.
Yeah, like accountability, you know. It's a kind of love too.
Yeah.
But I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think the concept of inclusivity, like, I think Earlham has made its whole belief or like its whole system for students to feel like they are very inclusive, or like the school is an inclusive environment and stuff. But then I think in like little areas you realize that it really isn't. Like, it's more catered to a bunch of people than others. Like, you can see the discourse between like athletes and non-athletes about like what they get, like their merch and stuff, and what non-athletes get in merch. And I don't know, would you really say it's inclusive if like things like that happen on campus?
I don't know. I think Alham is... Well, I think maybe like before, or it's trying. I think I've just come to realize that college is a business in this country, and like the business aspect of it will always make it cater to one specific side. And I feel like as soon as you try to fight to actually bring like true inclusivity, the funding or like the space for those things gets taken away, and then you have to now try and fight back, come back up, cater to one specific side. Then once you have like the money and things are smooth, go back into trying to make sure like inclusivity is actually being like worked for, and then the cycle just continues. Cause
and I think like it would be better if like this, like, we just accept like the school isn't as inclusive as they think it is. And an unnamed staff, or named, once said that this school is a transactional school.
whoa,
Like, it's based on transactions and nothing else.
get in trouble.
So is it like, would we say, the inclusive part is honestly just for the look and not actually being inclusive?
They try.
Yeah.
But then
They
when
do
it
try.
passes the look, like when it becomes real, for example, is when
You see
I guess
the-
pushback starts.
Yeah.
For example, I think there are people here who genuinely work for that.
Yeah.
I just don't think the system is designed to uphold it.
Yeah,
Not
that's
necessarily
true.
but just on a general scale.
Yep. And accountability is a kind of love too.
Yeah.
Clock it, guys. Clock
Yeah,
it.
we're
Sure.
clocking it. We're clocking it. So it's really wild how these responses came from different people, but they all circle back to belonging.
Oh yeah.
Like, everyone's scared to be judged or misunderstood.
Yeah, and maybe that's like the real message. Most of us are way more nervous than we look, or we.
Same.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. If you got
Yeah, but you should just know, like, saying the quiet stuff out loud like this is how community actually happens.
Yeah. honesty is connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe, you just all need to practice being brave and honest, even when it's awkward and difficult, even when you're judged, and give each other grace.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
All right. This was What's Something You've Been Scared to Say on Campus. Thanks for listening.
I'm Kimberly.
And if you're hearing this, we'd love to know your own answer. Until next time, take care of each other and maybe
Why
say
did
the
you
thing
say
you've
your
been
name?
holding in. Amaro.
I'm Nelly.
Thank you.
Bye.